Welcome to Lesson 6 of the Fall Watercolor Themed Collections Challenge. Let's get into it. Last week I completed my Halloween mini collection, starting from the strategy, to sketching and painting, to cleaning up the watercolor artwork in Procreate, to loading my shop with listings and giving you a shop reveal. If you missed Lesson 1 through 5, you can click on the screen to watch them now, and then come back and join me here in Lesson 6. This week, I'll be starting an all-new holiday collection from the beginning. I'm super excited about this collection because I've been dreaming about it for a while, and I know you're going to hold me accountable to get it done just like you did for the first one. I'm planning to include more colors, more elements and motifs, more actual designs than the last collection, and all in all, it will be a lot more sophisticated, including some pattern design as well as illustration and lettering. But I'm still keeping it super simple, and it's still going to revolve around the watercolor painting theme. So let's get started with step 1, which is getting our tools and materials together. Once again, I'm keeping that super simple, using exactly what I used for the Halloween collection. So I'll be using my Viviva Colors watercolor paints because they are so vibrant. I love the colors, not to mention the fact that they are 100% sustainable. So I'm being kind to the environment by using these as much as possible. I have a medium round brush and a small round brush for detail, some large watercolor paper that is at least 140-pound cold press, a jar of water to rinse my brushes, as well as some towels to soak up water and paint, plus a pencil and eraser to make some sketches. I generally grab a small house painting brush to wipe away eraser dust so I don't get oils from my hands on my paper. Next, let's start on step 2, which is strategy. I'm going to get my little sketch pad out and I'll start jotting down some ideas. I'm thinking about some apples, some little mini pumpkins, maybe a robin or two. I love pine sprigs, so definitely some of that. Up until now, I've had these ideas in my head, so it's really feeling good to get them together and out on paper. I also really like painting stars, and I think stars are fun during the holidays, maybe because we have shorter days in the winter and we get a lot more time to look at the stars at night. I also want to paint some holly berries, but I don't think I'll be painting leaves for this. I want to stay away from too many traditional elements and colors. I want my collection to look like it fits with the winter holidays, but also general enough to work all winter long. So no matter what holidays are going on, it's going to be relevant. Next, I'll work on the colors. I really want to concentrate on warm colors like light oranges, browns, some pinks, and some dark yellows and reds. I think I'd like a very pale and dark forest green just to cool it off a little bit and balance it. So I have a mixture of warm and cool. Basically, I'm using a version of complementary colors with a version of red and a version of greens, but different enough they feel new and unique. Now I'm going to just color in some of these elements to see where the colors might go in the end, but I can always change it since this is early stages. I'd like to share one of the ways that I choose colors that work well together. I make a trip to my local shops and see what colors are on the products right now. They'll change about every 2 months or so depending on the type of store, which gives me a fresh color palette to discover every time I visit. Colors change slightly every year, and it's fun to keep my pulse on that because those colors tell the story of the time we're in right now. Actually, behind the scenes, Pantone.com, the international authority on color, select colors that have meanings, which bring us positivity, encouragement, and tell the story of what's going on in the world right now. It's really an interesting science to get into. That's why I love using colors from retail stores, auto design, fashion magazines, decor magazines, and other sources. I know that by using these colors, I will be on trend, not to be trendy, because that's not my thing, but to be relevant, which feels really good. Please know that it's perfectly okay to use your own unique colors though. I turn to Pinterest as a resource when I want to use a color palette that isn't out in the world right now. Next week, I'll start the painting process, and I can't wait to dive into that. Now, let's go over the amazing work that was shared in the community this week. Yuta did this fun Halloween Procreate animation, and Elizabeth did an entire series of Halloween black and white pencil and ink drawings. Alessandra had a delightful watercolor picnic party indoors while she painted autumn leaves. And Sherry took the Halloween watercolor page she created a few weeks ago and did some really cool things with it in Photoshop. Cool, right? All these challenge members are creating collections of themed art that they could later use in some interesting projects. Why create collections? Painting single works is already an interesting challenge, but when you create collections of artwork, they become much more meaningful. They develop a storyline. Collections are eye-catching and keep the viewer's eye on your work for much longer. That's why so many artists work in collections, but understanding how to create the good ones can be confusing in the beginning. That's why I created the Confident Collection Creator course, which takes you step by step through this 9-part process. If you're confused about how to create good collections with your paintings, surface designs, graphic designs, and just about any other medium, you're going to want to listen to this. I really struggled to create collections with my art and surface design, and that meant I ended up with pieces that didn't look like they really belonged in my collections, but I couldn't tell. The colors weren't cohesive, even though it seemed like they were, and there was no real flow between the pieces. I got really tired of struggling with this, so I really got my head into it, and I developed a system that works for me every time now. How did I do this? Well, it took some time and a lot of research and just a lot of being open-minded. And after working for Bonnie Christine's immersion course support team 2 years in a row, I helped hundreds of students improve their collections successfully. Then went on to do some one-on-one consulting on this with private students and developed a series of steps to follow that work for me and for them every time. This framework ensures that all collections are going to be so engaging, people love to look at them, and I have a chance of getting the attention of buyers and art directors on top of that. This is a set of video lessons, PDFs, and bonuses. Since I don't have time to go into all these details with you here on YouTube, if you want to go deeper with what you're learning here, this is the perfect course for you. I'll be talking a bit more about this in the coming weeks, so stay tuned. In the meantime, I've got a link down in my bio if you want to take a closer look at the Confident Collections Creator course. If you liked this video, please click the like button, then click subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss any new videos when they come out. If you're just joining the challenge and want to watch all the lessons, you can click on the screen to watch them now, and I'll see you back here next week for lesson number 7 of the Fall Watercolor Themed Collections Challenge.